The 1953 launch of the Chevrolet Corvette sent waves through the auto industry, and though it had a rocky start with disappointing sales, it was America's first serious attempt at a true sports car and set a new benchmark. Ford couldn't ignore it. But instead of going head-to-head with a stripped-down, performance-first roadster, the team in Dearborn went in a slightly different direction.
Ford knew that Americans wanted a sleek and sporty coupe to zip down Main Street USA, but they didn't want to sacrifice elegance and comfort the way the Corvette did. The result was the world's first personal luxury car, the Ford Thunderbird.
Design work on the Thunderbird began in early 1953, and it made its debut as a concept at the Detroit Auto Show in February 1954. Wasting no time, Ford began selling it later that year. And their hard work paid off. In the first year alone, Ford sold over 16,000 of them. The Corvette, on the other hand, had sold just 700 in its first year. In fact, it would take Chevy more than 5 years to sell 16,000 Corvettes. Ford had hit the jackpot.
One of the reasons why the Thunderbird was more successful than the Corvette was what was offered under the hood: 8 cylinders. Today, V8s and Corvettes are synonymous, right? But in 1955, an inline-6 was a standard engine on the Corvette. Ford owners were enjoying a 4.8-liter V8.
The T-Bird had other refinements and luxurious offerings that customers loved, like power windows and seats, a weatherproof removable hardtop, a larger cabin, full leather seats, and a more refined and elegant presentation overall, from the doors to the dash. The public embraced the idea of a chic two-seater vehicle that prioritized a smooth and luxurious driving experience over pure track performance.
But that doesn't mean the Thunderbird was a slouch behind the wheel. Remember, it was designed to beat the Corvette out here on the road, which it did.
The Thunderbird had 192 horsepower, getting the car to 60 in around 9 seconds, a quarter-mile time of around 17 seconds, and a top speed of 120. Not fast by today's standards, but those were impressive numbers in the age of Eisenhower. In fact, these figures challenged many European roadsters of the time, but with a level of comfort and style that set it apart. And the Thunderbird was relatively light, weighing just over 3,000 pounds. That means the car is much more nimble than it was presented, and while it won't set any lap records, this refined cruiser also doesn't mind the twisty stuff. All in a package that offered luxury and sophistication that few competitors could match.
It wasn't long before Ford's competitors started making personal luxury cars of their own, trying to capitalize on this new genre that Americans suddenly loved.
Car lots were soon full of a wide range of options like the Chevy Monte Carlo, the Buick Riviera, and the Oldsmobile Toronado. While the first-generation Thunderbird only lasted until 1957, it was just the first in a long 40-year legacy. Later, it would evolve into a much larger, more luxurious cruiser until production halted in 1997. In a final attempt to revive the Thunderbird, Ford introduced a completely redesigned edition in 2002. This 11th generation model was a nostalgic throwback to the original 55 design, featuring a 2-seat layout, a powerful V8 engine, and a retro look. The car's styling was a critical hit, and initial sales were strong, driven by baby boomers' fond memories of the original. However, the nostalgia-driven sales proved to be short-lived. The car's impracticality, high price, and lack of true performance made it a difficult sell to a new generation of buyers.
As the initial buzz wore off, sales plummeted, and Ford finally put the T-Bird back in its cage for good in 2005, effectively ending the personal luxury segment as we know it.
But the spirit of the personal luxury car, bold design, a powerful engine, and a focus on comfort didn't disappear. They were simply transferred to other vehicle types. Luxury SUVs, four-door coupes, and sports sedans all offer the balance of sportiness and indulgence of that first Thunderbird. So while the T-Bird may no longer be with us, its all-American blend of elegance and excitement lives on.
This is a factory supercharged 1957 Ford Thunderbird, one of just 196 produced, which sold at auction for $132,000. This F-Code Thunderbird was introduced in 1957 to compete against the improved Corvette by offering a Paxton McCullough supercharged version of their larger 312 cubic inch V8, producing 300 horsepower and 439 pound-feet of torque, paired with a 3-speed manual transmission, sending power to the rear wheels. The F-Code Thunderbird could reportedly run 0 to 60 in 6.5 seconds with a top speed of 130 miles per hour.